Previously, in part 1 of The Glories, we discover the difference between headship and rulership and learn how to cultivate a God-ordained marriage that flourishes under pressure.
Rulership and headship.
So he's interested. Let me just go
like
with it
the
now.
quality of their family life when they were growing up. It was a godly ordained institution. Marriage, government, and the third one we said the church. They like how they look, don't really like who they are. But if you don't have God, the knowledge of God, I'm sorry, but you're just a dummy with a PhD. Let's dive into it. First foundation is love. Let's read the verse. 1 Corinthians 13:4-7. Because love, if you have love, you actually have the right foundation. Because love contains patience, contains kindness. Love is not self-seeking. Love is not, it doesn't keep record of, wrongs. Let's just read the verse.
Okay, so love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, and it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres.
Okay, let's repeat that because that's actually the foundation y'all are looking for in order for you to get married. Don't go, according to your feeling. I just love this guy. You don't even know what love is.
Right.
So let's read it again. What's love?
Yeah. So one of the things that I remember I used to do is when I would pray about our love, I would actually go to that verse and go word for word what love is and apply it into my marriage. So example, I would say make our love patient, God. Make our love kind, and make a love that does not envy, that does not boast, that is not proud, that does not dishonor others. Make it that it's not self-seeking, that we're just not looking for our own good, not each other's good. It's not easily angered. So let's not get upset at each other quickly, because it's easy to do that because feelings are involved. So I would pray about that often. And then what else does it say? It says it keeps no record of wrong. No record of wrong. It's easy to keep records of wrong. But the thing is, I think it has to mirror the love of God, which God does not keep records.
No.
Once you ask for forgiveness, it's like you never did it. It's the same type of love that He wants He wants you to have in your marriage.
Because God wants to have a relationship with you, just like me and you, right? So He's showing you the kind of love that you need,
basically,
in order for you to be successful in your relationship. The same way He loves us.
Right. Exactly. And then it's like the love that he mentions it on. We say that love is God. So meaning God is patient. God is kind. God does not envy. God does not hold wrongs. He's not easily angered. So God is love.
There's nothing selfish about God.
So basically having love in your marriage is having God in your marriage. If your marriage does not resemble God, then you might have to rethink that foundation of love that you have, and recreate that love. If it's not too late. It's not too late. But that's the perfect example. This verse here is the perfect example of what to follow when it comes to love. How love becomes a foundation.
The foundation that will sustain. Because the whole purpose of marriage is to become one, to have one flesh, one mentality. So God is showing you the real foundation that you need. The first foundation is the foundation of patience. It's the foundation of kindness. The foundation of keeping no wrong, no envy. All of those stuff that define love is your foundation. Second, when you have love, you have trust. The trust comes with love. Good foundation to build on is when you trust your partner.
I remember what you did one time. You wanted to test my love.
No, for me,
my loyalty.
We're not having any relationship if I can't trust you. It ain't happening.
Okay, fun facts. Okay, guys, I want to tell you a little side, like a paragraph. I'm putting something aside so you know what he did to me one time when you first dated. So what he did was he basically, I don't know, there was this app that you could actually like create phone numbers, right? You can actually create a phone number, like a random phone number, and text people. Okay. So what he did was, that was back then. That was like, I think was like maybe like a few years into a relationship. And he texted me, okay, with that number and acted like he was someone else from the past that I knew and wanted to see how I would react. And I did not know that. I did not know that it was him. For me, I thought it was that person, that mutual friend that we have. And yeah, so he tested me. That's just an example about trust. He tested me and texted me and saying, oh, well, hey, what are you doing? It's been a while. When are we going to catch up? When are we going to see each other? Blah, 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 blah. And thank God, because I'm a loyal girl, obviously. I texted him right away. I'm like, oh, guess who texted me? This person texted me saying they want to meet up, blah, blah, blah. And then he came clean later on to say that it was him this whole time.
Right? So that gave me trust. I needed
that. Give you trust, man. I was like, yo, you're not gonna get with me. Like, I'm not that type of girl. You got the right one. I'm telling you. Anyways, yeah.
Right. So it helped me to understand that, you know what, you can actually build a relationship with this woman, because that was my way of, you know, being guaranteed that, you know, I can, you're trustworthy.
Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So trust is important. It's a foundation that you need to build on. You said love, patience, kindness, and all that. Trust.
Mm-hmm.
Trust comes with truth. Truth, it's built on conversation, being open with your partner.
I believe that it's important when you get to know each other, that and you feel like it's gonna go far, that you go through every single thing that you can think of and talk about it and reveal, you know?
Reveal. Don't hide anything. You know, your insecurity, let him know.
Because it will always show up. It will always show up. Whether it's a few weeks, if it's a few years, somehow that thing that you didn't want to talk about will always end up showing up somehow. Right? What stays in the dark comes in the light.
Because you build trust when you tell the truth, right? Conversation builds intimacy. The bonding comes from conversation.
Right.
And the more open, the more truth you are, the easier the bond will be. The fusion will come easily.
Right.
When you're able to be open, you have nothing to hide. You tell the truth. In your mouth, there's no lies.
Right.
Next foundation that you need as a whole, this foundation needs to be put together, like love, you see, trust, truth. They all have to be together in order for it to create a good foundation. You need all of that. Not just love, but you also need trust. You also need truth. You also need commitment. That's the fourth one. Fourth foundation is have a foundation of commitment. What does that mean? When you commit, that means you actually restricted yourself from freedom of action. So you restrict yourself from doing whatever you want, because you commit to something that's actually bigger than you, or you commit to something that you can't lie about. Like, you have to be one with what you commit, with what you commit to, right? So that's the kind of foundation that you need. You need to be able to commit to your partner, to his needs, to her needs. Commit to that institution, a godly, ordained institution, which is the establishment of God. That's marriage is. That's what marriage is. The organizations of God, the establishment of God. Commit to that. Next foundation, it's knowledge. You need knowledge, the knowledge of God. You know, the only way Satan takes over this whole entire world is by keeping man ignorant, without knowledge. So you don't know the importance of your marriage. You don't know what marriage is. You don't know what love is. You don't know what it takes to stay in that long life commitment. You don't know what's the purpose of marriage. So Satan keeps you ignorant. So in anything, if you wanna be successful, just get the real knowledge, the original intent, the original plans of God is through the Bible, through knowledge. When you get the real knowledge, you will understand this world. Right?
Knowledge is power. And that's what I say. More power, more knowledge you have, the more power you have. Okay? The more opportunities to do better, to apply things you learn. All that comes with knowledge.
Knowledge. You need knowledge in a relationship. Don't go by your feeling, how you feel. I feel like my parent, pissed me off, so I'm trying to get back at them. So let me go get that's too low. Right? Get the real knowledge, the truth, understanding.
Because if you think about it, we all come with a lot of baggage, a lot of a history. We come with a lot of values that sometimes we just inherited, things that we don't even necessarily believe in, but just because our family believes in it, we believe in it, and then we fight hard for it, and then we lose out, we miss out on good potential husbands or wife based on those values that you don't even know where it's coming from. All that background, right? And you have no clue. The only thing you feel is love for that person, but you have no clue how to run this marriage, right? Just it's like there's a manual for it. It's you're going in blind without knowing what it takes, because it's all good. It's all good when we're all good, right? It's when things are all happy and no arguing. It's all good. But what about when things get rough? When you guys don't understand each other, you guys don't communicate well, or how about the fact that you don't realize that we bring trauma in marriages. We bring past
experiences. We bring in our own culture, our own history, our own memories.
So there's no way that it won't clash.
So it's actually two different history that has to clash, two different memories, two different experiences, two different
as much habits. As we have a lot of things, you're gonna have a lot of things that you're gonna have in common. There's also a lot of things that you won't have in common, that you learn from elsewhere, that he learned from elsewhere, and then you guys are finding your situation where you've never been in that situation. What about the fact that, example, you never had a healthy household in your home, you never had a wife, you never had your mom and your dad in the same household? How are you gonna be what do you, based on what are you gonna know how to be?
You don't have the knowledge.
Even people who do have both household, they don't. If you're not aware, you might not even have knowledge. So imagine now if you don't have anybody. So basically it means that you have this. I think that's why patience comes in, and no record of wrongs, because it's not our fault. We're coming with a lot of things, and we have to do a lot of compromise. We have to do basically like you said, baby, we have to merge,
adjust to each other,
right?
Adjust to your differences, right? You adjust in order for you to fuse together, right? Gotta be patient. It's a long life relationship. There's a reason why it takes so long for the diamond to join. There's a reason why, right? Because you need that pressure of the world, all of that.
Right.
Same thing with your marriage. You become fused, you become one. With the pressure of the world, with not understanding each other, with patience with each other, with your ability to adapt, to adjust to your differences, with your ability to actually put yourself in your partner perspective, like you can see the world
through their eyes,
through their eye, through the viewpoint,
through their lens.
Exactly,
the lens of having a lot of trauma, a lot of baggage, a lot of trust issues, a lot of mistakes that's happened in your past. All that you come with. You have a lot of great things, but you come with a lot as well.
So get the knowledge, the real knowledge. It will help you fuse.
You need help. You can't do this alone. You need help. You need to know what marriage is, what it entails, why it is such under attack as well.
Why exactly?
That's why you went into the root, right, of the first institution that was created by God was marriage, and then that's what
Satan
the
knows it.
enemy tempted right off the bat in the beginning of the Bible.
And he's still doing it today, though.
Basically, our families are under attack. They go right where your foundation, which is your home, which is your family, right? The foundation of your children is who? Us. Right?
No, I said Adam was husband and wife before they were parents. And then that's why they were attacked. That's why the world was still suffering until now.
And it's also mostly most marriages that are under attack are the one that are like, you'll see like it's worth fighting for. The devil knows that you're going to do great. The devil knows that you're going to elevate, that you're going to procreate, that you're going to, so what he's going to do? He's going to try to cut it at the source, which is the family, the marriage, the foundation. And what is he going to do? Exact opposite. He's going to take out the patience. He's going to take out the kindness. He's going to add the record of wrongs. All that stuff. He's going
to remove your sense of empathy that you may have. He's going to remove your ability to communicate. He's going to remove your ability to work through problems.
Trust. Right? He's going to put some doubts in your head, or he's going to make you think that you can't trust your partner. Or, the foundation, the good foundation that you need, it's going to be the exact opposite. If you don't be careful, because the enemy is he's very sneaky. He's going to put exactly what you need to sustain your marriage. It's exactly what he's going to take away. The patience, the guidance, the kindness, the record of wrong, the easily angry. He's going to take that away.
But don't get it twisted though. You have it in you. He's oppressing it. So I want you to ignite this foundation in you right now. If you're married, you believe in God, you're married. I want you to ignite those foundation that we're talking about right now. Love. You know what love is. We gave you the verse. You have it in you. Start loving your partner. Be patient with her or with him. Be patient. Be kind with them. Don't be easily
angered
for no. Control your emotions.
We're one.
Be stable in your emotion. You know what I mean? Because it's a long life. You need patience. Y'all about to become one. You can't be one. You can't be extraordinary hard if you don't have no patience. If you can't adapt with each other. If you can't put yourself in your partner's shoe.
But if you're saying one, if we're saying we're one, right? And you're easily angered that person, then it no longer makes you one anymore.
But because that's what we see.
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to make them understand is that if we say we're one and we're fused and you're easily angered, that means that then right now and then there's two different mindsets that we're separated.
But it takes us to understand that we need patience with each other, because it's two different worlds that trying to blend, like fuse, become one.
Right. Two different worlds, whole thought process, especially the older you are into the relationship, or the older you are in, like the older you get to know each other. For example, if you met later on in life, you even have a greater amount of things that you have. You know what I mean? I don't know if you start earlier, you still have, but it's less. But what about the ones that are like starting later? You have past relationship, past traumas, past issues, past trust, all those things you have to be aware. If you're not aware,
and always keep that dynamic of Gamel diamond in your head. Like you need time, you need the pressure of the earth, you need heat to make something, to transform into something extraordinary. Always keep that thing in mind. Keep that dynamic in mind. Right? So let's go for the next one. The next foundation you need. Right? We said love. We said trust. We said truth. We said commitment. Right? We said knowledge. The sixth one, it's actually respect. Respect. When I say respect, I'm talking about both ways. Mutual respect. It's not, I know for me it's a need. Right? For a man, we can't function without any respect. Like we can't. But believe that a woman, she needs respect as much as you need. She's a leader. She needs to be respected by you, especially man. Man, we don't really respect our wife.
You guys don't see the importance, I guess.
Yeah, we don't really see the importance of respect. No, it's
as long as you love your wife, as long as you know.
It all comes from what I said, right? You don't really know the difference between rulership and headship. You think you gotta rule over your wife. So when you have that confusion in your head, obviously you're gonna be
misled,
right? So we both need respect. Respect is a good foundation to build on a whole lifetime of marriage, right? Respect each other. Next, submission. Build your marriage on submission. When I say submission, it's not only the wife. Again, both way. I submit to her needs. Those 5 essential needs that we talked about.
Right.
I submit to that, and she submit to it. Yeah, and she submits to the same thing, to my needs as well.
So what's submit?
Submit means I commit, like I restrict myself from other possibility than just meeting your needs. You know what I mean? Submit actually means, when I submit to you, that means with love and grace and a lot of passion, I will restrict myself from doing other things than focusing on you.
In what you need.
Okay. In every single thing that you need. That's my commitment to you.
Right.
You need that. You need that commitment. You need that submission in order for you to build on a strong marriage, a healthy home, a healthy marriage, a healthy society. We're just talking about the foundation. Put all those foundations together, right?
And it stacks up. Now it becomes like a strong foundation. Now the foundation is stacking up. It's like bricks. It's gonna hold up your marriage. Everything you said are bricks. So respect, submission, love, all that are bricks that are holding up your marriage.
You need all that. You need that respect. You need that. You need that love. You need that trust. You need the truth. Right? You need that commitment. You need that knowledge. You need that respect. You need that submission.
Right.
And you also need patience. You need patience. You need to be patient with each other. Patient, I'll tell you right now, the key to solve all your relationship problems. Anything that stops you from becoming one, if you want to solve it, use patience. Patience is the key to solve all your problems. Be patient with your partner. Yeah. And not only patient, be able to communicate with your partner. Express your feelings, your intent in a way that she fully or he fully understands you. But it takes a lot of patience. Just like the dynamic, right?
Right.
It takes a long, extended period of time for the diamond to become strong and crystal and all that. Same for your marriage. It takes patience. Build your marriage on patience.
And I feel like patience, like, if you really dig deep, right? Patient means that it also falls into the giving grace. It falls into not being easily angered, understanding each other, being, empathetic to one another, all that, right? Understanding that, okay, well, it's not that she comes with a lot or he comes with a lot. It's not his fault. We can work through this. It's not the end all be all. We're not against each other. We're just trying to figure it out as we go. Because at the end of the day, it's two lives merged together.
Right.
But you still have like your own hurdles that you're going to go through. And, it will affect your marriage, but it's just a matter of how to navigate that.
So it takes patience in order for you to navigate, to come up with good solution, good results. Patience is the key. It's a good foundation for your marriage, right? Next, faithfulness. Faithfulness. You need to build your marriage on faithfulness. Because if there's no faith, if I don't trust you, I mean.
And I feel like it's also, again, godly marriage, right? Godly marriage, godly institution, faithfulness. If you think about that, it's like, if that's why it's important to believe in Christ and believe in God when you're in a marriage, because you kind of hold yourself, you kind of have someone to answer to, which is God, right? When you're not in a godly marriage, well, you don't really have much to answer to. You have to answer to yourself. And when you answer to yourself, then, well, you know what? You make the rules. But if you're in a godly marriage and then you believe in God, what happens is that you kind of have someone to answer to.
I like
that's
that
where
one.
the faithfulness comes in, right? Faithful meaning that you have you keep the integrity of your marriage, right? You wouldn't do anything to jeopardize that marriage, and then you have God that's holding you accountable as well, that's watching you. I'm telling you, guys. One thing that I've learned, and I feel like I've always felt like it's imperative, is that having a godly husband or a godly wife, somebody who believes in God, believe in Christ. Reason being is that, imagine, like I said, right, when you have nobody to, it's like me with you, babe. I know that you have a higher up, that same higher up that I have, that same God that I have, the same Father that I have is the same Father that you have. We both have, we have our Father that we kind of, that holds us accountable for our actions. Right? So if I know you're out there, I know that not only you're not afraid of me, you're not holding yourself accountable to me, but you're holding yourself accountable to God. So it's you and your God. So it gives you that peace. I feel like it gives you that peace knowing that, you know what, you guys believe in this, you believe in your Father. You're doing what it takes to keep the relationship together, and you have to answer to God. When you have a husband or a wife that doesn't have to answer to no one.
So faithfulness actually comes from God.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
To actually have that faithfulness, you need to reconnect with your source, to where you're from, right? And where we're from God. Faithfulness comes from God. Connect to God, you will be faithful.
Right.
And faithfulness is a good foundation to build on a whole life, to build on a whole house, a whole marriage.
It takes off a lot on the list of worries and concerns in the marriage and all that stuff when you have faithfulness, because we have so much things that we already have to tackle, right? So faithfulness, if you can have that right from the bat, that it helps.
You have ignite that in you, because you're God. You're like, you're created in the image of God,
right?
So the faithfulness is in you.
God is faithful to us.
You know what I mean? So you just have to ignite it. Be faithful. Next. Financial stability. It's a good foundation to build on. I don't understand, like, some people that actually go get married when they don't have a job. They, like, how you gonna build something? Like, I understand you love her. I love her. I'm patient. But I'll tell you right now, if I love you, I mean, we can't pay the rent and the bills for 2 months. I don't know what am I gonna do with that love, man. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, yeah. Well, you talk about a foundation, right?
Foundation.
What to start with.
You need to believe that having stability in your finance, it's one of your priority before you go into.
Because it's a trouble. It's a hurdle. Well, who wants to start a marriage with a hurdle?
You're gonna have a lot of problems, I guarantee you. Getting marriage is just the beginning of a long journey. Right. In that journey, you're gonna have pressure. You're gonna have heat, massive pressure, great heat, great fight. Come on, you need financial stability.
And I imagine on top of that, you add financial instability.
We're just telling you guys, those are the foundation that you need to build a solid marriage, a solid one, a crystal, an extraordinary marriage. You need that foundation, the one we just listed. Getting married is actually, it's a collusion. Like we say, it's a collusion of two different different history, different culture, the clash of different
Personalities.
Yeah, right? You want to make it easier for yourself and for your couple to fuse, to become one flesh, to have that one same mentality. So basically, I'm about to give you some heads up what you need to look for when, if you're trying to find a partner, or if you're already married and you want to elevate your marriage, you want to elevate your life. So the first one you need to have an attitude of adaptability.
Being able to adapt.
Exactly. Basically, you're able to adjust. You have the ability to adjust to your partner differences. Like, I can adjust regardless of how you turn out to be. Like, when I met you, one thing I liked about you, it was the fact that I could see that, you're able to ride with me whenever. Like, doesn't matter who I am, you would take me the way I am. I sense that in you. I sense that you had the ability to adapt, to adjust to me, to my way of being, to my culture, to my mentality, right? So when you're about to get married, when you're about to get a partner, a lifelong partner, just look for that. Look for the spirit, the mindset of adjusting to each other.
So example, like, let's say there's few instances where that could actually be an issue. Like, example, you bring your potential wife or potential fiance or girlfriend, whichever, you bring her home, and you guys in your home, you're a type of family who are like always together, always united, or you guys always have dinner on Sundays, example, as a family, something like that, right? And then you meet this girl, and then she's not willing to kind of go ahead with your flow, go on Sunday dinners with you, or she doesn't like being with your family, right? All that it's not gonna make things easier. If she didn't have it before y'all are married, basically she ain't gonna have it afterwards, right? So unless that's something that she's actively working on, and you're willing to work on, but you know what I mean? Like, it's important to be able to adapt to certain situations, because in life you're gonna have to adapt to a lot of stuff,
right?
A lot of challenges, a lot of situations. You're gonna have to adapt, try to find out what to do, how to move.
Yeah, because let's say whatever your partner says, we actually hear it too. Like, we hear it through the filter of our own experiences and history.
Right.
Okay, so whatever you say, I have a filter in my head, in my mind, that I'm hearing it. I'm hearing those stuff through.
Yeah.
So
your way, you're hearing it your way.
Exactly.
How you know.
I'm hearing it. I'm
based
hearing
on
it
your experience,
based on how I was raised, based on my educational level.
Right.
I'm hearing it based on my faith in God or not.
Right.
So understanding that and adjusting to it requires time and patience to adjust to the differences, the different histories, the different culture, right? When you understand that and you and you adjust to it, it takes time and patience in order for you to become extraordinary. So when you meet your wife, just look for those attitudes, those mindset.
Like, when you have been finding a situation where this situation can very well ruin the day, how would she react? Is she gonna try to see the best out of it? Is she gonna try to kind of change the situation, or is she gonna try to kind of see another way? Like, being adapt to a situation that normally not anybody would adapt to, but because she sees a potential, or he sees a potential in you, they're willing to adapt. They're willing to, like, okay, you know what, I can actually merge with him regarding that aspect.
Because a lot of problem that we see in marriages, especially like young marriages, is they have different point of view, different viewpoint. They don't see things the same way. And then it stays like that because ain't nobody can adapt to anyone. Like they can adapt with each other. They can't really empathy with each other. They can't put themselves in the other shoe.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So that's the problem that we have in relationship. So if you can just ignite that spirit of adaptability, it's actually good for your long life relationship.
Yeah.
The second attribute that you need is empathy. Empathy is actually like you're sensitive to the need, to the desire, to the hurt, to the pain of your partner. Like, do you have the ability to be sensitive? Like, can you feel with them? Can you experience the world from your partner's viewpoint, from your partner perception?
Right.
Do you have the ability? Do you have the attribute to actually put yourself in his shoes? Right?
Yeah, example, like when I first met you, right? You had your stuff, like you were already like kind of finishing, a toxic relationship, and that's when me and him started talking, being friends. But then I knew the situation. He was very much open about the situation, right? But since he was trying to end it, but it was not ending on the other side, right? I kind of had to adapt to that because it's like I had to adapt to his phone being rang 10,000 times at night because the girl doesn't want to understand that it's over. I had to adapt, his trust issues because of why it ended in the first place. I had to adjust, like the whole thing, the whole shebang. He had to adjust to the fact that I was in a household with no two parents household. He was. So I didn't understand that wife and husband dynamic. I didn't understand it, but he was able to empathize with me and understand that through my eyes, this is how I see things, and we need to work and we need to communicate to see how we can kind of understand each other better. Right? You had your own way of seeing things when it comes to wife and husband, or you had your way of seeing things. So we had to kind of talk about it and understand that, well, at the end of the day, we have the same goal. We're trying to kind of coexist. We're trying to be together, trying to understand each other. And then that right there is giving you the floor to be empathetic to one another, to be able to understand each other, to understand that you had trust issues. So if he's giving me some issues, or if it's a bit more harder for him to trust me, I kind of understand because of his past.
Because if you think about it, love and marriage, it's actually a relationship of meeting each other's needs. Right? What does that mean? That means if one or both of you are not sensitive to the other's need, there's going to be a dissatisfaction in your union. Just because one is not committed to the need
of the other. Right.
So you gotta, when you're about to get married, or if you're already married, make sure you ignite that spirit of putting yourself in your partner's shoes, because your partner, he ain't like you, man. He entered marriage with his own emotional, psychological baggages, you know what I'm saying? So
traumas.
Yeah, you have your own personal
experiences,
personal trauma. You have your physical or emotional or sexual, abuse. You have all of that. You gotta
childhood.
Right? You gotta be patient with that person. See the world through his experiences.
And that's where love comes in, right? It kind of all comes in together. Even the love, foundation of love, right? The foundation of love is being patient, being kind, being unself-fulfilling, self-seeking. All that plays a role in that aspect that you mentioned, which is the empathy, right? Because love comes in, you're patient, you understand, you know what, she comes with this, he comes with that, but I love them.
Because remember, the purpose of marriage is for us to fuse, to become one flesh, so we can rule over the earth. So to make it easier for you guys to fuse, need to ignite those qualities that you have in you already.
Right.
Right. So next, the ability to work through problems, ignite that in you. The ability to work through problems, because a lot of people, they can't control their emotion. They get so mad, and
Right.
when problem comes, they split up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a successful marriage, it's actually made up of a couple who has decided to remain committed to solving as many problems as they can. And the ones that they can't fix, find a way around it.
Yeah.
Adapt, figure it out.
Compromise.
Right? So the point of being married is to commit to fix as many problems as you guys can. Because you're about to fuse, right? There's gonna be some resistance, right? So it's not gonna be easy. Mama say it ain't gonna be easy. It ain't supposed to be easy anyway.
Listen, in a marriage, there's so many things that goes on. I can name you a few. Okay, trust issues, financial, work. You might lose your job. He might lose his job. You guys are down one income, no income. Issues, lost. You can lose a parent, family member. That's hard on someone. I don't know. You don't know how that might have never happened to you. So you don't know how they might act if they lose someone. This is reality of life. Or what about pregnancy? What about, so this pregnancy, there's in-laws, there's brothers and sisters and like in-laws between family dynamics, there's friends dynamics, so many things that goes on in a relationship, loss of children, and so all of those things, that's just to name a few, right? And then all of these, if you don't have those attributes and foundation, I feel, right? This is all basically to prepare you for those hurdles that you will definitely go through.
Well said. Like I said in the last video, right? In the last podcast, it's actually like godly marriage and worldly marriage respond differently to pressure. Right? Godly marriage, when the pressure comes, when all this stuff that we mentioned comes, become stronger.
We try. We because the thing is though, it's easy to say we become stronger even if we're godly marriage. Because we're still humans, we're still flesh.
No, but because we're not committed to just me and you only. It's bigger than us. That's why I say godly marriage, it gets stronger. Like you're trying to find a way to adapt or to find solution, because it's not about just me and you. It's a godly thing. It's like, because of this, that God will build on the whole society, the whole humanity.
Right.
You gotta understand that it's not only you and me.
Right. That's the thing, and people don't know that. People don't realize that.
Yeah, that's why you gotta work on it. Found solution. Commit to that. Commit to solving as many problems as you can.
Right. Because surely problem will be there, and you'll need those. That's when those attributes and those foundation come in handy, because trust, imagine if you have someone who's not empathetic, if you have someone who's not patient, someone who doesn't, who don't trust, someone who can't put themselves in your shoes, and you're going through a loss, or you're going through a loss of job. Can you imagine? You already have all those problems, and then on top of that, the person you're with can't comprehend what you're going through, how you're feeling, can't be there for you, can't be problem solving with you. They're supposed to make your life easier. They're supposed to be there and feel the same thing you're feeling at your side, not make things hard for you. That's why it's better if you have the chance to set up those attributes, have somebody who already has those attributes to make that life easier for you.
We just want to see you win, right? Next attribute that you need to ignite, or you need to look for if you're about to find a woman, it's the ability to receive and give love. Because especially men, a lot of men out there, I don't know why, they were like pressured by society into believing that, we must remain tough. You know, we can't show our emotion. We can't display like our emotional needs. No, that's
well, it's not their fault. It's not your fault. Society.
Which is wrong.
Society.
Which is wrong. You can't be vulnerable. Yeah, like if you're looking for a woman or a man, look for a man who can be vulnerable with you, right? Who's not scared to show you that he loves you. Who's not afraid to express how much he loves you. Me, I ain't afraid to kiss you in front of the whole. I don't want to do it right now.
Yeah, but the thing is though, babe, would you say that you were like that at first though? Would you say that that's how you were from the get-go? I don't think so, because you had some baggage as well. For you to trust a woman, it was not that easy, babe. A lot of people don't realize that past traumas also contributes in the way you act. If you want to be vulnerable, the whole world's already telling you that you can't be. You can't be vulnerable. And then women, they're not making that safe space for you to be vulnerable. So, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's not your fault as men that you can't be vulnerable. But that's why it's important to be aware.
Knowledge.
To know that, create that safe space. Just like you would like that safe space for yourself where you can be able to express your feelings. Same thing with your man. He wants to express his feelings as well. He's playing that he's tough, yes, because that's the role that he's put himself in, but he also needs that vulnerability.
Yeah.
You know, he needs to be able to be comfortable being vulnerable.
Because I need to have the ability to fulfill your needs. Let's say your first need is, let's say, affection. If I can't express affection, I can't express love, that it's going to be dysfunctional, because the guy is too, like, how you say, stuck up. You can't really express your love, express your feeling, your romance. You can't do that because society told you.
Or your childhood.
Exactly.
Like your parents, they never, like some household, they don't tell each other they love each other. They just know it's underlying that we love each other, but we don't tell each other we love each other. So that vulnerability, it's not there. You have to act, even if you just have to act tough, because showing each other love is not something that you're accustomed to.
Yeah, or you know, it's really important to have that, ignite that. Especially men. I'm talking about, like, women. They show their emotion, right? They don't have no problem.
No, that's not true. There's some. I mean,
the majority though.
I mean, because some women that are having trouble being vulnerable. Some women are not. They can't be vulnerable.
They can't show you that they love you.
Because why do you think? Because of past. What about people who a woman who's divorced, who had 2 kids, who was married for 20 years, and the man left them? Now you ask them to be with somebody else. You think that they'll be able to be vulnerable still? After, you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's where conversation is important, to have a conversation about your past and about your trauma, so that you understand. You basically having that conversation, not only will establish that you guys understand each other, you know about each other, and now you know what to do, and you'll try to figure out the tools in order to be able to navigate each other's, right? Because like I said, if you don't have conversation, you don't know what's the issue. You don't know that this issue, you can't fix it. That's why conversation is important.
Yeah, but you have to have that spirit too, like that mindset of, it's okay to show my emotion. You know? Like, how do you teach that to somebody?
Trust.
Right.
Trust, right? Showing, like me, I think with you, it was not easy, because again, you didn't trust that much. You didn't trust easily. I had to basically prove to you.
Patient.
Prove to you can trust me over time. Patience. If you feel like it's worth it. Patience. And then you, obviously, because you want to be with me, you were like, your eyes were still open and seeing, okay, you know what? I actually can trust this girl. So it's like, it kind of goes both ways. That's why it's important to have conversations early on. And if you haven't have it now. It's not too late.
It's not too late.
No.
It's not too late. The next attribute that you need in order for you to ignite that good spirit of marriage, that long life relationship that I'm talking about, right? You gotta be able to control your emotional stability, right? What does that mean, emotional stability? That means you control your emotion, and then you make sure it doesn't run away from you, right? Like, keep it in a leash like a dog.
Right.
Don't make it run away. If it runs away from you, like when you're having those emotional
outbursts.
is make sure you're responsible. Don't make excuse. Don't say, okay, it's because of you that I did this. Because
Right.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Have that mindset that, you know what, I was not responsible enough to control my emotions. It's never the other person. It's you. So ignite that ability, the power, because everyone has power over the emotion, right? It's just a matter of your will.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like if you really want it, you will control it. You will take responsibility of your emotion. It happens to me all the time. I'm upset, but since it's me that I'm upset, it's not the other person who's upset. Since I have to control it, right? I'm responsible for my emotion.
Right.
It's not you who makes me act crazy. No, it's myself. I allow myself to act crazy. So the moment you recognize that, if you really want it, you will control it, and that's what you need in order for you to feel. You feel with your wife. You need to be able to control your emotion.
Right. So because the situations, like especially early on, right? Early on, you're still trying to understand each other. You're trying to understand each other's tics and what bothers you, or so you're still trying. You love each other, but you're still trying to understand the dynamic. Like even emotions, right, is another hurdles that you have to go through. Emotions is, I mean,
again, we have different culture. Like we see things different. When I grew up, if you say no to me, it means disrespectful. It's disrespectful. When I grew up here, when you say yes to me, it means you love me. So you have all that. It creates problems.
Right.
So if you have that base of controlling your emotion, you know how to control your emotion.
Right.
You're actually setting up yourself for an extraordinary union.
Right.
Right? You got anything to say?
No, I mean, like, just emotions overall, just like, you know, okay, me and my household, like an example, me and my household, the way the dynamic in our household when I was at home with my parents, that when we talk to each other, we talk with passion, right? It seems like we're screaming. I mean, shoot, we could be screaming, right? But we talk because there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of emotions involved. Okay, that's how it was. And then we talk it out, we get upset, we don't insult each other, we don't degrade each other, we just express each other, but we're with passion. Okay, and then after that, the next minute, once that's done, the next minute we're fine. But now with him, I ain't like that. That's what I came in with. That I came in with what I grew up with. It's like we talk it out. We have to yell. We yell, but then after that, it's done. We're done. We still love each other. We family. We're gonna be okay.
It should be like that.
But the thing is, though, at first, that's not how you saw things. It shouldn't be like that in certain aspects. Like we shouldn't be screaming at each other. Like but what I'm saying is that I came in with, like, when me and him would have issues, if he would call me any names, it triggered me. Because what? Because when I was at home, there was no such thing. But the thing is, when I would yell and talk while yelling, he didn't understand that, because it was like, why are you yelling? You're disrespectful. For me, it's like, no, I'm not yelling. I'm just passionate. And then I'm just passionate. And then she's like, no. So it's like, we don't understand. And for me, it's like, when he used to get upset, I mean, shoot. Sometimes your words would go out there. And then for me, it was like, how we don't, in my household, that's not how it is. Like, those words don't come out. And then, like, if I really took it to heart like that, then maybe with me and you wouldn't have lasted, because I'm like, I can't take that. I didn't grow up with that. And you were
patient with me. I have my a mentality that was from the street that I did not like, right? You know, those bullshit that I'm talking about, I suffer from that too, right?
All right.
So when you understand that you actually need to control your emotion, because
I knew you. Right? I kind of understood you. I kind of understood how you were. I knew you were real. I knew you for real. So everything, all the other things that came with it, I knew that we could work through it. Hence what he said, somebody who's able to work through issues is important, right? I'm like, you know what? Yes, we don't see eye to eye on this, but we can work it out, because I see it. Like, I know who you are, and then over time, somehow it's gonna get better. You know what I mean? So that even the aspect of wanting to stick around and still figure it out. Like I said, It's figuring it out. People always think that, okay, well, you know what? The next thing that I don't like, I'm leaving.
That's your goal, that you're getting into marriage to leave after you can't take it no more. That's not marriage. That's the opposite.
Because the next relationship, there's something that you ain't gonna like as well. Nobody is perfect. So it's just basically choose your imperfect,
Like I said last
and
time,
try to make it perfect
like
in
I
the
said last
imperfection.
time, with two imperfect people
Exactly.
committing themselves to a perfect institution, which is godly institution, by making perfect vows from an unperfect lips before a perfect God. So you believe that marriage is from God. Me and you are not perfect. We come with all of our emotional, psychological baggage.
Right.
We come with all that to be perfect in front of God through marriage. Through that institution that God established himself. So you need to be able to control your emotion, be patient with each other, adapt to each other, adjust to each other, empathy with each other, feel the world, experience the world as she is experiencing it.
And guarantee, what we're saying, we're not just saying it just to say it. Guarantee, if you do exactly, or if you incorporate all the things that we said, your relationship will be better. Or your future marriage will have the set foundation it needs to sustain everything that marriage comes with.
So there's two more. Before the last one, you gotta be able to communicate. Like the ability to communicate. Because if you think about it, communication can actually destroy or strengthen the relationship. It's communication. So intimacy and bonding and fusing, it's actually a result of an effective communication. So if you want to fix your marriage, you have to be able to communicate in a way that your partner fully understands you. Your partner can fully put herself in what you're saying, in your world, to experience your world. It's like ignite that ability to communicate with your wife.
Right.
Your intention, your feelings needs to be communicated.
That's something I struggle with. Till now, I'm not even gonna lie. Like the communication, it's not that I don't know how to communicate. I can very well communicate, but me, it's almost like I can communicate anywhere else, but I can't communicate to my husband.
Not anymore, though.
I mean, it's getting better. It's getting better. Like, you know, like I feel like there's always room for improvements, right? It's like I can communicate with everyone, but when it comes to him, I can't. Why? Because my emotions are all over.
Maybe I don't make it easier for you. Oops. Maybe I don't make it easier for you.
Maybe. It's just, at the end of the day.
That's why it's a long life relationship. It's a long life work. Hard work, long life. You're in the business of becoming one mentality, one flesh, fusing.
Yeah.
Right?
Like me, I'm a person that's very emotional. I'm like very in tune with my emotions. So when me and you, we communicate and it's something that's like dear to my heart, something that affects me or it affects you, something that you're kind of telling me that I need to work on something, or I'm telling you you need to work on something. I can't express it to you because my emotions are involved, because I want you to understand me so bad. I don't want you to not understand me or twist my words.
That's why the controlling your emotion comes in. You have to have the ability to control your emotion, right?
Yeah.
It will help the union.
Right. Right. Yeah, so because if I go and I say what I need to say, but both our emotions are in check, we checked it at the door, we come in and we're like, okay, you know what? You come in with a mindset that he loves me, I love him. We want to figure this out. This is the mindset we're going in. Less defensive. I'm less defensive. He's less defensive. Let's work it out. It's literally like a business meeting. It's like, because if you think about it as an institution, right? There's moments you're going to have to check in with each other and make sure that everything's running smooth.
Right.
Because again, like you don't know 100% how you're like, I try my best to know how you're feeling. You try your best to know how I'm feeling, but at one point you need to check in, right? There's certain stuff that you don't like, certain stuff that you want to fix, right? But me, because of my emotions, sometimes like I take things to my heart, I think things to heart. when he tells me something and that's not what I meant, blah, 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 right? So then now when I'm trying to express to him what I feel, because I'm an emotional person, he's logical. That's what I noticed. I'm emotional. So my emotions is like, it's not logical. And his logic is not emotional. So it got, see, like we had to work with that.
Well said.
We had to work. Him, it's like 2 plus 2 equals 4. And me, it's like, well, if 2 feels sad and then the other 2 then it's not 4. Like, it's, for me, it's emotions, right? And then we learn over time that he knows that I'm emotional and I know that he's more logical. So we work on that. I try to communicate in a way that he understands.
Effective communication, so I can fully understand your intention, your feelings, your plan, your purpose.
And it all starts with both of us willing to understand each other and being patient. All those aspects that we talked about.
Right.
It all falls in. If you think about it, all falls into place somehow.
Basically, right? You need all of that to have a good foundation in your relationship, to have a lifelong relationship of love, of patience, of faithfulness, of all the goodies. Right?
Yeah.
It takes time. The last one, you're actually looking for similarities in your partner. So you're actually looking for common. Because think about it, every marriage, it's actually a joining of 2 different people. Right? But those 2 different people, their goal is to become one flesh. Right? So the easier you are, the better it is.
Right.
For that union.
Yeah.
Right, go ahead.
No, I was just going to add something, but...
Right, the better it is for that union. So I need to see some common ground in you. I need to see some common interests, common hobbies, common faith. We gotta have the same. That's important. We gotta have the same faith. You gotta believe in God, because I can't marry you. Listen to this. I can't marry you if you don't believe in God. If you don't believe in God now, and I tell myself I'm about to, I'll marry you still, and I get married with you, there's nothing that'll make you change after.
Maybe, you never know. It's just like it's not recommended.
Marriage is a godly thing.
I'm a sucker for love, babe.
I'm a sucker for love. Thing. If you go into it without God, you will end up right when you started.
Babe, that's really bold. Because some people, you can still, babe, some people get married, they're not Christian, and then they get married, they become Christian. I mean, it's not often, but it is there. But you have to, I like to give hope. Yeah, I'm a sucker for love, right? I'm a sucker for love.
When you believe in God, everything changes. You're born again. Right. You're a new person. You're a new spirit. So everything that's happening in your life, the minute you're born again,
right,
it's brand new.
Right.
So your marriage is brand new. It's refreshed.
Right. So if you don't believe in God, but you're married, okay, and you're seeing that you have some issues that you can, try to see if you can seek for God. I'm telling you, we've done it, and we believe in God, and we had to seek God still in the marriage, and it worked out. So, listen, from one woman to another, from one couple to another, seek God as a couple, and see how your relationship will change. At the end of the day, right? They say opposite attracts, yes, but similarities keeps you together.
Because we need to see that union of you two growing more, right? That's why we're giving you those secrets, those revelation, those knowledge to elevate your life, your marriage, right? So seek similarities. If you don't have it, if you don't have things in common with your husband, just pay attention to what he likes and become like him. And same thing for the man.
It's a union. It's a family. And we basically entangled in everything that we do. So let's say, me and my husband, I'm entangled in things that he does. He's entangled in things that I do. And even the children, if you think about it, we entangle the things that they do. We bring them to soccer. We bring them to tutoring. We are entangled together. Right? It's a union. We are like he says, we're fused together. Nice. So we basically we merge together. We have an institution that we have to run. So we have to take care of one another to be able to sustain what we have going on as a home and as a family. So that's why this is the whole purpose, is that let's go back to the fundamentals of everything, right? Because sometimes we get lost. We get lost in the world. We get lost in distractions. We don't realize what's the core. The core is that me and you, number one first. We started together first. So we are the as much as we needed foundations in order for us to keep us together, we are also becoming a foundation as well for our family and our home.
We are. We're not becoming. We are the foundation of the home. Like the success of my son depends on my union with you.
Exactly.
Never forget.
And then when you decided to start a family, I'm pretty sure that you had a vision of how you wanted it to be. Like, again, like I always say, envision how you want your relationship to be, envision how you want your marriage to be, and make it happen. With all the foundation that you've said, all the attributes that you need before marriage, all that are the key components to incorporate in either your relationship right now, in your future marriage. Incorporate it and let us know how it goes.
And then remember, the diamond dynamic, pressure, heat, long extended period of time will give you an extraordinary element like diamond.
And the last thing I would actually say as well is the very thing that is meant to break you is exactly what you need to stay together. Problems.
That's a revelation, right?
Thank you so much, guys, for subscribing. Again, we reached 1,000 subscribers. We cannot thank you enough. Again, we have so many things that we want to talk about, so many new topics, so many new. We go and we dive in. We dive in on the topics, the taboo topics that people don't want to talk about. Expect that. We're here, guys. Our purpose is what? If we just want to see you win.
Right.
We just want you to experiment what we experiment. The love that we have right now. We want you to get there. Not that you're not there, but whatever aspect that you need help with, we want to assist. So we want to talk about all subjects, even if it comes to marriage, faith, mindset, life, purpose, taboo conversations. We want to dive in deep. That's what we want to do. People trying to censor you. You can't say that, you can't say that. No, we want to talk about the truth. We want to talk about what's really out there, what people don't want to tell you, what people want to hide.
The whole point of this, we want to be able to free you so you can accomplish the will of the Creator, of the Supreme Being. He created you for a mission, right? And if you're not careful, you won't accomplish that mission. You will die like a mere mortal. So that's when I come in. I want to make sure you show up. I want to make sure you don't die like a mere mortal. I want to make sure you actually represent God as he did with Adam. The original intent of God, purpose of God when he created Adam, was actually to partnership with them so they can have a relationship. You can't see God, but he's inside Adam and he's ruling over this world. That was the purpose, right? But you sin, you're ignorant. Like the devil had blinded you for some reason, and we can't recognize you. You don't even know who you are. You don't even know what marriage is, but you're in it.
Right.
That's where I come in.
That's why we want you to be the best wife you can be. You to be the best husband you can be. Best father, best mother, best sister, best daughter, best brother.
Yes.
All of it. We want to see you win in every aspect of your life. And if we can change even just one person's life, we've accomplished our mission.
You got it. Even one person, if you actually cut the spirit of what I'm telling you, I'm happy because heaven is happy.
Yes. Have a good night. I just wanna